My company is daytradeideas.com. I've been a trader since I was something like 19 years old. I started in 1987 on the London Stock Exchange floor. I traded pretty much on I was backed by a professional, so I traded own account. But I never worked for a bank or in the corporate arena, if you like. Then the market went off floor and on screen, so I made that transition and that went quite well. I was trading options and it seemed to go okay. But in the end I decided I didn't want to trade options anymore. It's quite intense, so I realised I needed to find a way to figure out what was going on in the markets and how to trade futures, and that led me on to analysis, technical analysis, which I'd been interested in, reading books, studying, and I just took it one step further. Quite enjoy what I do. I've always been in financial markets ever since I was a teenager, so it's all I know how to do. I enjoy trading, but I enjoy the analysis side of things. It gives me a thrill when I get the market right, and obviously pays the bills. Probably the most exciting moment was a long time ago, around early 90s anyway, when there was an ERM crisis, when the pound was thrown out of the exchange rate mechanism and all hell broke loose. It was the first time I'd really experienced a panic and markets almost out of control, and it was very exciting. I think at the moment FX is the easiest from a technical point of view. I think that they seem to chart quite well at the moment. You get a good idea of direction. They're trending quite well. So indices used to be something was probably my favourite, the stock market indexes, but at the moment they're very, very difficult to follow. They're all moving quite independently of each other. Some are hitting all-time highs and some are nowhere near their all-time highs. So yeah, I'd say FX and possibly some of the commodities, gold, oil's a bit tricky right at the moment, but usually I quite like that market. I used to solely focus on the news and try and figure out how fundamentals would affect the market. Now I shut myself off to that completely. My theory is that news is discounted in the price anyway, and I find it would cloud my judgment, so I look at markets purely from a technical aspect. Favourite pattern, the ones I probably look out for the most, or the ones that I spot the most, would be double top, double bottom, head and shoulders. I use trend lines quite a lot. Moving averages I keep an eye on. They tend to work. Not so much the crossovers. I tend to use them more just as support and resistance levels. Stochastics give me an idea of direction. Sometimes I look over different time periods, that kind of thing really. Firstly, from a technical perspective, just keep it simple. There's so many different indicators to watch. There's so many different techniques that you can use, and you can just confuse yourself. So I just watch stochastics. As I say, I keep an eye on moving averages. I use trend lines, and I look for patterns. And really, like everything, it's experience. So just keep studying charts. Do it all day long. Look at different markets, and after a while, you'll start to get a feel for things, and you'll figure out what works in the markets that you like. From a trading perspective, I'd say trade smaller than you want to, because it'll keep you out of trouble. If you make a small amount of money every day, in the end, you'll do well. It's more about money management, risk management, just keeping control of your account than it is getting the market right.